first of all, I want to thank Sinn Féin for bringing this very important motion with regard to the cost of education. As late as I looked at my book before coming down here, and as late as today, I had 7 dealings with parents who have difficulty over the high cost of education, whether it's the cost of the actual courses they're on, whether it's the cost of living, of the rental accommodation, the student accommodation, and difficulties they have of accessing funding. And I actually told them about this motion. They were very grateful that this motion is coming before the Dáil. So I want to thank Sinn Féin for their work and for their dedication on this very important matter. So I'd start off by saying that we fully welcome and support this motion. As the cost of living in Ireland continues to rise, students find themselves at the mercy of financial strain. Despite a slight drop in inflation, families are still struggling to meet their household expenses, leaving students vulnerable and forgotten in the midst of this affordability crisis. We are witnessing an alarming impact on high education costs on students and their families, emphasising that the measures taken in Budget 2023 fall short in providing substantial relief. It is important to note that while the government may boast about falling inflation rates and take credit for it, it is essential to understand what these numbers truly mean for the average person. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario where inflation decreases from 8% to 6%. On the surface, this might seem like a positive development, but in reality, it indicates that the cost of living is still increasing, albeit but at a slightly slower pace. Inflation represents the general rise in prices over time, which means that even with a lower rate, goods and services are becoming more expensive. And to put it simply, when inflation persists, it means that the purchasing power of our money is diminishing. So while the government might present falling inflation as a victory, it doesn't change the fact that people are still facing higher expenses for their everyday needs, making it difficult to keep up with the rising cost of living. Anecdotal evidence from students and parents in various constituencies, including my own, highlights a shared concern that the mounting costs may hinder academic success. Students from the lower socio-economic backgrounds are particularly susceptible to escalating prices of food, transportation, rent, and energy. Their financial limitations can significantly impede their ability to excel academically and fulfill their potential. No one of us wants to see a situation where young people can't get the most out of themselves education-wise because of lack of funding or lack of resources. We don't want that to happen. The Irish League of Credit Unions, who I want to thank and compliment for their excellent work always, in their most recent annual survey reveals important data about the back-to-school costs faced by Irish parents of children who attend primary and post-primary level and the impact of rising living costs on their budgets. While the survey doesn't provide specific details on the cost of education, it highlights the financial burden faced by parents in preparing their children for school. The findings include that 2/3 of Irish parents, 66%, consider the cost of back-to-school items a financial burden. Parents spend an average of €1,518 per secondary school child and €1,195 per primary school child. And 29% of parents are getting into debt due to back-to-school costs, with an average debt of €339. 10% of parents are considering using illegal moneylenders to cover these expenses. Now, the one thing that we'd all plead with everybody is under no circumstances should they be forced to use the services of illegal moneylenders who are actually nothing better than highway robbers, to be honest. Credit card usage for purchasing back-to-school items has increased Oh, sorry, by 6% to 23%. Sorry, thank you, I wasn't watching the time.